Right. Welcome back, everyone, to Multi-Family Deals and Dollars. And I'm joined with Kiran Kaur. Hello, Kiran. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Jim. And we're excited for today's talk. Yes.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how to go through multifamily and find them and where to look and all that, the tools and resources that we use. But we kind of haven't spoken about the mindset that's needed when you take this on because there is a quite a shift. You're working for yourself and you sometimes you're working for it with a team as well. And it's a different type of environment, learning environment. So that's what Kieran and I wanted to talk about today.
Yes, I agree. So I'm really big fan of Jim Rohn, and so his big focus is on mindset. So when we try to do something new, it our body, our brain gives us signals that it's like sympathetic nervous system, that fight and flight system that says no, it's scary and you should not do it. And the only thing is, if we have growth mindset and if we think about all the things what can go wrong, but come up with a plan, and if this goes wrong and this is my plan, this is what I'm gonna do, you are able to take initiative, you're able to take action. The only thing is this fight and flight system, like when you see something, when you see a dog, right, like who's running after you, your body gives you a response to run, right? And all those things happened in our life or the past experience, like for example real estate and money. It all comes to our belief system. So how our parenting was done, and how was our experience when we were brought up in our life, and like all those experiences adds up, and we can't we our brain and come up with these belief system that that's how we ended up taking those actions. So some people are really big risk takers, and some people are like they are looking for security, they are looking for safety. And I feel like having a right mindset and the knowledge um leads to big actions. Yes.
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, a lot of it is pretty much what Kieran said there, unlearning what we've already learned in our up to our life and to this point. It's really we need to learn differently, which is weird because you need to learn differently and understand differently. So there's a lot of things. Now, you mentioned Kieran Jim Rohn, who's very popular, very written a number of books. Is there one book that you'd suggest that people is a must read for Jim Rohn for people starting off in real estate investing?
I don't, on top of my head, I don't know exact name of the book, but I listen to his podcast like whenever I'm driving, um and we are going on a road trip, we just like played Jim Rohn, and the strategies and the thoughts, I it just blows your mind, and that keeps you motivated, inspired, and also listening to stories of success stories of people who have done so much in their life. For example, like McDonald's, right? Who started McDonald's? And KFC guy. And there was like when you read about those stories, there's no age did not matter, and what their resources, what kind of resources they already have in their life, that did not matter. It all mattered was what was their why, what they wanted to do something. And they were eager to make take those actions, and one thing led to another, and they have achieved really big things in their life. Yeah.
I mean, it's about believing in yourself, believing in your why, and going through the process and being open to learning. And like, I mean, Karen mentioned there, she goes on road trips with the family and they're listening to these audiobooks on in the car ride, you know. I This was a difficult one for me because when I'm in a long car ride, I like to listen to jazz music. It just calms me down, it relaxes me in the car. And that's been what I've been listening to in the car for 20 years at least. So for me to listen, I had to change my mindset in order to listen to mindset audiobook books in my car, which has now replaced jazz music most of the time. So it's just about learning to grow and trying different things and but being consistent with trying different things because it's really easy to get back into your old ways. So really, if you're going to stick to something like listening to a Jim Rohn audiobook, try that every day for a month to see if you can just listen to 10 minutes a month of it, just get a little further. So for those of you watching, Jim Rohn, his last name is spelled OHN, and he's written many books, and he's very much on their influential books, and mostly on personal development and success. Some examples of the most popular books that he's written is Seven Strategies for Wealth and Happiness, The Art of Exceptional Living, Five Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle, 12 Pillars, and Leading an Inspired Life. So there's many options for you to read out there with those books. And then I'm sure once you click on those books, you're going to be you're going to be exposed to a whole realm of new authors that are in the inspirational and teaching phase. So yeah, great suggestion, Kiran.
Yes, yeah, thank you. So, and other thing is being comfortable, right? So I'm gonna share my own story. So I was like when I came to Canada, I worked like various jobs. I worked as a waitress, as a cleaner, like housekeeping in a hotel, and like as a construction site, as a cleanup. Like after the construction is done, you make sure that the mirrors are clean and the toilets are clean, and then started working as a nurse, and that like every single day get up and finish your job like full-time work, and that became like a routine, and I was comfortable and I didn't have to think differently and everything. And then one day somebody suggested to me that like nurses can buy care homes, and that was the thing that I got curious, like how can somebody buy big buildings, how can somebody do so much in their life, right? And I met people, and that people shared their stories. They've been through so much tough time in their life, and they were able to achieve all because of people, all because of mindset, and they wanted to do something different in their life. And I decided, like I cleaned those buildings, I cleaned those toilets, and one day I can own those buildings. And I worked at marble slab, and I worked for like 1 month, and I didn't get paid for $1. And that hits you, you're sometimes you feel like you're nobody, and no matter what you do, the money um you make hardly helps you to pay down your credit cards and the bills, the life you want to live. And it gets harder and harder. And once I realized, once I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and thinking that if I continue exchanging my time for money, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I will continue, the similar actions will bring similar results. If I continue like full-time work and not buying any assets in my life, keep on buying liabilities and keep on make money, keep on paying credit cards and line of credits, I will be living that life until I die. Right? That's my family will, because bigger family, more expenses. So that was the thing that I need to do something differently. And I decided, if I don't change the things, I won't get different results. Yeah.
It's a key one. Oh, I love that, Kiran. And Kiran's just dropping the bomb on one of the biggest first books for every entrepreneur to read, in my opinion, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book really opens your mind if you need help understanding how to take the first step and really why you should take that first step, what's involved. And it talks about a lot about mindset as well. So that's an amazing first book. I think the second book for me was You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. I think
Okay, I did. Yeah.
that's another great one that's been mentioned in our circles. But yes, and I mean this it mindset changing your mindset is not an easy thing. I mean, and you know, it's understanding your why, as Kieran mentioned, and it's about kind of digging deeper into your why. A lot of people think, oh, I have kids, so it's for my kids' future. Okay, but why? I mean, what? And like really peel back the layers of that onion to get a little teary-eyed about and bring some emotion and bring some real power to the reason why. It could be many things. I mean, reach out to Kiran and I, myself, Irasmart loves going down that journey as well. So, feel free to reach out because it should be a little bit more deeper than I want my kids to have a great future. We really need to dig deep because your kids could have a really decent future in your current lifestyle. But what's the legacy and what is the lasting impression? And, times are just keep getting tougher and tougher. How well positioned do you want to put your next line of family members, in and protect them from all the things that are not all, but many of the things that are happening in our world. So yeah, there's a
I
bunch of great books.
Yeah, and then so many things right now, like in real estate, people have their beliefs like interest rates, and the property values are so high. It's a politicians, it's like conspiracy, and the things that the rich people are bad. They are greedy, and they are not paying taxes. They, like so many belief system that we started hating money. And like the famous is like money is evil of all the problems. And I feel like if you don't have money, that is the evil of all problems. I'm healthcare professional, and people not have enough money. They live in the places which are crowded and lead to all those diseases like tuberculosis, and which are not like all those like lung problems, and not having a good food, buying all those high carbonated drinks, and like cheap food leads to all the cheap is high cholesterol, high carbohydrate drinks, and that leads to all those problems like heart problems and strokes, and like you name it. When I studied community nursing, and when we spent extensive amount of our time in nursing, learning about the health and the community. And when we look at the social determinants of health, income is for the most that comes on the top, and that has the biggest influence on your health. If you are high income earner, you have the resources, you have the time to follow the diet, you have the time to go to the dietitian, you have the time to go to the family doctor and make all those changes. You have time to go for bicycling, mental health, that's all influenced by income, how much income you are making. And the other thing is that then becomes all the other determinants, like like sex and the race and environment, and like psychological, all the influences. So income is the most important, that affects your health. And I don't agree that money is the evil of all the problems. That uh, you know I don't. I have sat next to billionaire people, and those are the people which are most helpful, most inspiring, down to earth, and humble people. And the belief I had was, all those rich people, they are taking my money. They are the problem of my because me taking all those actions. Once I realized that it's me, I'm responsible for how much money I make. I'm responsible for what kind of property I'm buying. It's me. My actions, my knowledge, my mindset is going to affect my future. And I feel like once people realize that, they think differently, they take different actions, and then results are different.
No, I love it. That's great. And I mean, you ask a lot of people in our networks, Kieran, what they would do if they had a lot of money. And I know on the top of the list would be charitable giving and giving back to the community. So it's not, it doesn't have to be the root of all evil. And it's a mindset shift that you need to change. Think of all the good that you can do with all that money for your family, your loved ones, and the community that you live in. You can really make a huge difference. So there's a lot of opportunity in that.
And the other thing is thinking about, I will take another course that will make me more, more money. I will take another like 4-year degree. I know someone who is a pharmacist and who is also a lawyer and then took a mortgage broker license, like thinking about, like, just to do one thing and learn how to manage that money, make money from one source and learn how to manage that money. Anybody can make money, like 10 years of going to like being a doctor, you can make like 800K $1 million a year. But if you don't know how to manage that money, where can you invest that money, where do you put that money so that it will keep generating you money? That is the key. So many people come to me, Kiran, I have like 500K, where do I start? What can I do? I always tell them, work on yourself, work on your self development, learn about how the money works and how, like, go through the history. Because I can tell you, I can give you a deal, I can tell you, this is how the numbers work, and go buy this real estate property. But that is only one time, right? We should be able to um, develop ourselves so that we are making informed decisions. Yes.
Very, very good. No, I love it because, so many people, they join these courses or these masterminds that cost them tens or thousands of dollars because the opportunities sound, are really speaking to them. So they want to take advantage of these courses. When they get into the course, they realize then that they have to change their mindset. So it's kind of a reverse. You're backpedaling a little bit because now it's a mindset thing. Or some people give up because they don't know what's involved in changing a mindset. Our old belief system takes over, and oh my gosh, I got myself in too deep. I cannot do this. This is way in over my head. And really, you can do it. You just need to set yourself up with a system that is going to propel you forward. That means a lot of things. It means, getting rid of old habits. It means getting rid of, negative people in your life. It's embracing new challenges, embracing new uh, belief systems, even.
I agree.
Yeah. Sorry, Kieran, go ahead.
Sorry, and also having a belief that I can't do it,
Yeah.
right? So like I want people to ask, why not you?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Not. And it's not about I can't afford that. It's how can I afford that if something seems out of reach. So switching your whole perspective. And I mean, you know, I used to be a very sarcastic person, and even sarcastic comments have negative connotation in them, right? So we need to be jokeful, but in the same time, that negative energy is being put into our immediate universe. So it's just changing. It's changing so much. And if you think to yourself, I don't want to change who I am. Well, I mean, who are you? You've already changed who you are, becoming that past version of yourself or that present version of yourself. You can change who you are. You can change and be a much better person, a much more involved person. So, come at it with an open mind. It really is a beautiful experience to grow along.
Right. And then other thing is, like, going through our projects, what we are doing, and like the money we are making and we will be making is beyond my, like, imagination, right? Like, starting small, and what like, it's just a repetition. Once you know the system, once it's just like go bigger, and then if you learn the system and just keep repeating, and it's a domino effect, right? Like one result you got in your life, and that brings you that like those neurotransmitter release in your body that brings happiness, and then motivates you to keep doing more, keep doing it. So because it's all about the same thing. I think it goes on a negative side, right? Like somebody had a negative experience with the real estate and they hate it, and it's just they think that it's just not for them. And I feel like anybody can do really well in real estate. And we have seen properties gone up so much, and my nursing pay, it goes up like in cents, like in a dollar.
Yeah,
Like every year after some experience. And when I compare to how much properties go up in value, it's just I feel like for me, I don't know why I did not realize that earlier. It's just a common sense, right? Your per hourly goes up only so much, but the properties, they go up like 300K, 400K. And if you can do something to that property, if you have that skill, if you learn that skill, that you do something to the property and double its value, you can do anything in your life. All those dreams you have, your bucket list, traveling the world and having being able to live a great life where you're not looking at the price tag, that's possible.
absolutely. And for those of you listening, like as Kieran said there, if you have that skill, now she doesn't mean that if you have the skill to do the renovations yourself physically, you just need to be a managing skills, right? Managing skill sets, and you get the tradespeople and come and do that thing. So yeah, no, there's a tremendous amount of options if you can look at real estate investing and change your mindset. Uh, Irismar and I, along with another friend, we've been hosting mindset seminars to help people change their shift and understand how to reach their inner potential. And it's the people that you meet on that journey when you decide that the mindset shift is time for you to make that change. The people that you're going to attract into your life, it is insurmountable. It just incredible people that are just have that giving feeling. It's not the corporate type of culture that you might recognize or you might be in, where people are just trying to climb the ladder on their own and they're not there to help anybody else. The abundance mindset environment is so much better and so much more welcoming.
Mhm.
Now, the other thing I wanted to say there, Kieran, you mentioned, it just slipped my mind. But yeah, give anything a try. You can make it happen. You're not too old to change. An old dog can learn new tricks. So
Mhm.
definitely give it a try and reach out to Kieran or myself anytime, and we'll help you out there.
And the other thing is, I think we want what we have done in our life. We want to see that like people listening to this podcast, the people talking to us, like they can also do the same thing in their life, right? And sometimes people ask me, what is in it for you? How are you making money? And I say that, you know as a nurse, working in a hospital brings me fulfillment, and this is what brings me fulfillment. If people I know, they are able to generate more income by by thing I shared with them. For example, I shared with my sister that when the interest rates were really low, and I asked them, reach out to your bank and if you can get a lower interest rate. And she did that, and she saved ton of money. And the same thing was, her insurance was a little high, and I said, reach out to your broker if you can, like a tweak, what can you do to get a better insurance quote. And so many things you can do if that's bringing fulfillment for life, for myself. And having a partnership for people who are educated and the same place, where my mind is, right? Like, so that's generating me opportunities to partnerships. So yeah.
It's incredible. And I'm thinking about the people that are, they're being asked to return to the office right now. And, I'm looking at as much as the bus and the train pass hasn't really increased a lot. It's still about $300 to $400 a month for a monthly trip downtown. But I mean, with the cost of everything else that's gone up and the time that to and from on this train, I mean, you know, working on yourself, investing in yourself to learn a new skill is just going to get you back out of this type of mess. And I'm always, when people say, well, you know what, I get paid well, I like my job, and for me, it's fulfilling. also. I find my job fulfilling. Totally get that. I was you know, that's a lot of us do that. But think about how much more your life could be filling if you embrace something like real estate investing into your life. You could, instead of working the 40 hours, you could be working 12 hours in that type of role or in that type of industry or that capacity. And you'd get half of your freedom back and probably be paid more because you'd be maybe working as contract or something like that. You'd be you know, you'd be taxed differently. So just a world of opportunity by listening to that book, the first one Karen mentioned, Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know, that will really open up your mind.
Right. And then I don't know about gas prices in Ontario, but like in BC, it's $2. And like that, like I look at it and I see, that doesn't affect me because we only have one car and we have Tesla. I don't need to pay attention to the gas. But if I had a gas car, that would affect me big. So
Yeah.
single houses going up and all those things happening with interest rate or something, that affects everybody. But then when you have a skill finding properties, when you have invested in yourself, where to find cheaper properties, where to invest in the market, and that doesn't affect you as much as everybody else thinking, and taking a step back, that I don't have a control over the gas prices, I don't have a control over the grocery prices, I can't do anything, I am stuck. And this is frustrating, and blaming everybody, like in the country, the blaming Trudeau and blaming the politicians. And like I see people posting memes on the Facebook. I feel like if you want the politicians to change yourself. You can be a MLA, you can be a prime minister, like nothing is stopping you, but don't waste your time blaming somebody else for your problems.
Yeah.
And that won't take you anywhere. So if you want to change the politics, be a politician and bring that change. And I would love to see you making all those changes that you are suggesting, because it's very easy to say on Facebook, very easy to say, and very hard to do. Yeah.
Angry typing, and we get caught up in a lot of the memes that get posted. I mean, and we don't even know if those memes have been researched accurately. We don't even know if we're getting accurate information. So what Kieran said is ignore the noise. Forget about the noise. Stop putting your energy into being angry for one political party or another political party, unless you're going to take the steps and become part of the party and become a politician. I mean, I just move on. What can I do? I'm on earth for this long. My family, I need to set my family up for success in the future with this. What do I need to do right now? Oh, a policy has changed and it sucks for me and it ruins it ruins something. Okay, well then now it's time for me to educate myself, learn about that policy change, pivot, figure out how to pivot, make sure you got the right people around you, the inspiring people, the people that want to help you, and the people that want to succeed, and learn the next strategy. Ignore the noise.
I agree. And focus on yourself, and what can you do better for the community, for yourself and for your family, and be that change. And get out of your comfort zone, doing the same thing, doing the same 9 to 5, and taking another 4-year course, and you're thinking that I'm gonna make more money. Learn how to bring your expenses down and invest that money.
Bingo. So reach out to Kieran or myself anytime. You know how to find us. Kieran, part of Broadway Living Incorporated. I'm Jim Lawrence, part of Irismar and Jim, my wife Irismar, and I really appreciate this, Kieran. This was timely and perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
See you guys all next